Hi,
Ready to go?
with Hirsch's, and here I am with Zunab, who from the Chilli Chocolate Chefs, who's going to be really showing us how it all happens today. So thank you so much for joining us today. We're so thrilled that you can be with us. We love it that you're here. We're cooking literally every week. We've got fantastic cooks and none better than today. So Zunab, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Margaret. I'm so happy to be here today. It is a beautiful day in Durban, sunny, glorious winter's day actually, and I'm really excited to be here. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am Chef Zainab from a company called Chilli Chocolate Chefs. We are actually a gourmet catering company and we're based in Durban. Our mission is to create exquisite food, and we aim to do that with every single event of ours. So I'm really excited to be here. Sadly, my sister couldn't be here today. She wasn't feeling too good. But in a way, I'm actually thrilled she's not here because honestly, like I think all of you who've got sisters will actually attest to this. Sisters fight like crazy and we are no different. So I'm actually secretly thrilled that she's not here. But anyway, so let's get down to this. 2 weeks ago, Jonathan from Hirsch's called me and said that Hirsch's have got the most amazing rose gold air fryer that they're about to release. And he wants to know what can we come up with. And immediately, all these millions of ideas sprung to my head. Anyway, so we got dropped off this beautiful machine. It looks stunning and it works amazing. We had a mad weekend with Eid, so I only managed to do lots of recipe testing yesterday, and I must tell you, I had a blast. We ate all day yesterday, so we had a bumper weekend of eating, but I'm not complaining. I loved it. And anyway, so we have got 2 delicious recipes that I'm going to be sharing with you. Firstly, I have to tell you, so I do a little bit of background on my kitchen experiences with Hirsch's. So we purchased all our kitchen appliances from Hirsch from back then, even before we were chefs, actually. So for those of you who watch any of our lives, you'll see all my lovely equipment, my kettle. I've got a beautiful black fridge. I've got an air fryer, not this one, obviously, also from Hirsch. So when I opened this beautiful one, I put it next to the other one. I thought, oh my God, this one looks even better. I think it suits my kitchen even better. Anyway, so let's get started. So the first item, I'm actually really excited. We are sharing 2 recipes with you today. So the first one is a roast chicken. It's a bit of a spicy roast chicken, but in Durban, everything has a little bit of a bite and a little bit of a punch. So it's a roast chicken, which I'm serving with baby potatoes and baby tomato, which are all going to be roasted at once in the air fryer. And then we're making a delicious chocolate brownie. So easy. I'm going to give you a bit of tips along the way, but really easy. Margaret, do you have any questions?
No, I think it's amazing. And yeah, I just want to say with the Rose Gold Air Fryer, you know, your old one, when they first came out, we had them in small, then we got the medium, then we got the large, then we got the extra large. This is XXL. So anytime you want to always comes to an air fryer. And normally if you see them in the shops, they're selling it about $7,499. Our online is about $7,099. But today, especially for everybody watching, we're doing the ultra low price of $5,799. So these are at the ultra low price, $5,799. Anybody who's on, you can buy it. But now, if you can't afford it, don't worry because you can win it. It's on a special competition this month on my Facebook page, so you can enter. But if you buy it anyway and you win it, you'll get your money back. So that's the plus. So yeah, everybody can own one of these, and if you feel you can't, just enter the competition and you can win it. So let's get that
as well. All right. Okay, so let's get into our first item, which is our roast chicken. Okay, so I have got so I've got a baby chicken. It's a whole roast chicken. A whole chicken. It is skinless. The first thing I'm going to do, sorry, I'm just going to wash my hands quickly. quickly. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a few little mix in it. Now, the reason we do this is to make sure that when you marinate your chicken, all the spices go into all the little corners. So I like making little incisions everywhere, especially on the fillet pieces, because the fillet tends to get a little bit dry. So you want to make sure that you're getting in all the marinades everywhere. So quick little incisions all around. We're not going to spatchcock this. We're going to leave this chicken whole. This chicken's actually really nice for a Sunday lunch. It's like a one-pot wonder, so everything just goes in at once. So we're going to start off with tomato paste, a tablespoon of tomato paste. We will obviously post the recipe, the proper recipe for you. Then we've got a tablespoon of tomato sauce. Then I've got ginger garlic. It's 2 teaspoons of ginger garlic. Okay. My ginger garlic has a little bit of red chili in it. Then I've got ground chilies. It's just a teaspoon. I'm not going to put too much of that. We've got tomato puree. And for that, I actually want to put 2 tablespoons of that. So okay, a little bit more than 2 tablespoons of that. Then I've got some sweet chili sauce. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of sweet chili. Yeah. And then I'm using 2 sauces, right? One is a peri-peri sauce. Yeah. So as you can see, very easy to put together. And then I'm using some garlic sauce. 2 tablespoons of that as well. There we go. Then we're going to be adding a 1/4 cup of oil. There you are. And then I'm going to be adding, a teaspoon of cumin powder. As Indians, we call that jiru. So cumin powder and a little bit of turmeric, right? So I'm going to be adding 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. Turmeric is so good, especially in winter. And then lastly, I'm going to be adding in some fresh lemon, right? So let's just chop that up. And let me squeeze that in. You actually need 2 tablespoons. So generally that's about 1/2 a lemon, I would say. This is a really nice and juicy one. Okay, brilliant. And then the very last thing is our herbs. So I've got a selection of, I hope I'm not blocking anyone, am I? Okay, so I've got some thyme, which I think is so flavorsome. I'm going to just pull it off the stalk a bit. So I'm going to be adding 2 types of herbs, thyme as well as coriander. We're going to chop up our coriander quite fine. And then we're going to be using the thyme together with that. Right, so let's chop up our dhania. It already smells so good. For me, I like to spend the least amount of time putting together stuff, especially when you're entertaining. You want to put stuff in the oven as quick as possible and then relax and mingle with your friends while this is cooking. And the air fryer will allow you to do just that. Okay, so there we are. We've got our chopped dhania in there. And we're going to give this a mix. Actually, I'm going to have to use my hands here just to make sure that the marinade goes in all the little corners Remember what I said earlier? You need to make sure that it goes into all the little incisions that we've done all over the chicken. Okay. So give this a nice mix. Beautiful. Now, I'm actually going to take my baby potatoes and we're going to stuff the chicken with the baby potatoes. It's going to get nice and like it roasts beautifully inside. So I'm just going to take it and stuff it. First, I'm just going to make sure it's marinated properly. And then we're going to stick it inside. Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay. Now, I don't know too many of the features of this air fryer, but the few features that I did use yesterday really impressed me. And Margaret, I think you can explain a little bit further. But so when I was testing it out yesterday, I basically all I had to do was take my chicken, put it into the air fryer, put in the kilos, so how many grams it weighed, and it figured out what temperature it needed to be on and how long it needed to cook for. For me, that was amazing, especially for like even my husband. When I have to leave something for him to cook or to put in the oven, it's always an issue. All you need to do is just take this, put it in, and it does the work for you. My husband actually even tested it out with baked, the crumbed fish, the box crumbed fish. All he did was pop it in and it did it for him. So I think that's one of the most amazing features, the sensing technology that it has. That really amazed me. Okay, so my little trick here was just to spray and cook the base. I just felt that it made it easier to lift up, it made it easier to clean as well. So I'm going to spray and cook the bottom a little bit. Right, and then we're going to, then we're going to put this inside. I had forgotten actually to add in a tablespoon of this sauce. I'm just going to give that a mix first.
What sauce is that, Donna?
Okay, so this is a mix between a chili, garlic, and mustard. But I will pop the whole recipe properly for you so it's easier. This just makes the chicken a little bit more redder. And you know, it's all about, we eat with our eyes, you know. So it's got to look the color. And then, you know, it's just a lot more appetizing. Okay, so I'm actually ready with this. I'm also going to add in my tomatoes into my marinade, because I want that to roast in the oven as well, in the air fryer. Okay, so that's ready. I'm going to take our chicken and put that in there. And we're going to scatter our baby. I've put some baby potatoes and tomatoes inside, and we're going to put the rest around it.
And can we have a close-up of the air fryer just to see how nicely that chicken fits inside it?
Yeah.
There we go. We need one to where we can actually look into it. Is that camera at the top there? We can see it in my grid, but I can't see it in the big screen. Yeah. Those of you who can see your grid, and you can just click onto where Zainab's working, you can see it. You see how nicely it fits into that. That's an extra large air fryer. So it takes the whole chicken with the potatoes and with the marinade and everything. We're going to stick it in there, just push the roast chicken. It weighs, how much does it weigh? About 1 kilo. And off
weighs about 1 kilo, yeah.
Yeah, and it just cook it for you. You don't have to think, it can do it for you. So if you're at work and you've got a domestic worker at home, you can just prep it and say to her at 5 o'clock, stick it in the air fryer. It'll do everything for you. Now, let me just tell you the reason we brought air fryers into this country. I work with a Johannesburg School for the Blind, and most of the children were blinded because of having fat fryers that burnt their faces. It's so horrific, but it's so true. In fact, 90% of the fires in the kitchen are from oil actually catching alight and people not knowing how to put it out, and it just takes over. So that's why we bought air fryers in, and they've been such a boon because, one, with electricity, it cuts down on your electricity consumption by at least 80%. So if you put your oven on, it'll use about 8 Rand an hour electricity. This uses about 26 an hour electricity, just to give you an idea. And it's so versatile. You can do absolutely everything, and especially with children, you know, if you can do it. So the frozen chips in there take about 10 minutes from raw to cooked. So you can do chips for the kids in no time flat. Sorry, Zainab, stop me if you're going to put it in. You're going to shove it in now.
Margaret,
It's all in the box.
can we just introduce Mark? He's the senior director at Philips. He's on the line as well.
Hello, Michael. Oh, Michael McKechnie. Hello, Michael. So I just want Zainab to get that into the oven quickly. And Michael, tell us about Philips and what's happening with Philips and all the innovation with these new products that are coming in.
So good morning, Margaret, and good morning to the team. Thanks so much for inviting me to this wonderful event. Indeed, air fryers. I mean, they are an absolute hero, not only to Philips, but I think to majority of our lives, to be honest with you. A full range of product from the entry level all the way through to the beautiful product that Zainab is making use of at the moment. And it's called our AutoSense air fryer. It is our champion of air fryers, not only from a capacity perspective, but also from a functionality perspective. It really takes the guesswork out of cooking. Now, again, for those of us that aren't so culinary mastered, this product really does take the guesswork out of cooking. So it auto senses not only from the perspective of weight, but what you're cooking, but also really measures exactly the perfect cooking time required and temperature required in order to cook your product. Now, you've pointed out, Margaret, chips. The versatility of air fryers is crazy. It really does actually replace your oven. From cooking a cake to cupcakes that I cook with my kids. The kids absolutely love it. To the obvious, of course, of chicken, fish, roast beef are absolutely incredible in the air fryer. And it really does complement the entire range of Philips domestic appliances, which really talks to this ecosystem of product that we have. But awesome to see it being used by a professional chef. And Zainab, great to meet you, and thank you for hearing our champion.
Pleasure. I must say,
into the oven. So tell us the next thing you're doing.
Okay, so the next thing I'm making is a delicious chocolate brownie. What I've done with this recipe is that I've mixed 2 types of chocolate, so using a mix of milk and dark chocolate. The reason is that if it's only milk, then it becomes too sweet. When you mix it, it's just the right balance between chocolate and sweetness. It's just amazing. Also, I'm going to be adding some pecan nuts. You can use any nuts you want. I really like the taste of pecan. You can either use your almond or hazelnut, but I really like pecan. So, really easy recipe. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to melt our butter and chocolate. So I've measured out the butter and the chocolate. Let me put it the other way. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up this chocolate a little bit more fine so it will melt quicker in the micro. It's very important to use good chocolate because that obviously affects the end product. This brownie is, it's a gooey brownie. It's not a cake brownie. It's a gooey brownie. It goes really well with ice cream. And it's best eaten immediately out the oven with a spoon and just dig in, especially with these lovely winter nights. It was delicious last night, I'm not going to lie. My husband and I just cracked it. So I have to tell you, I actually tried doing steak in the air fryer as well. So I took a piece of beef fillet, marinated it, and did the exact same thing we're doing with the chicken, and it worked beautifully. I actually did it as a steak salad. So did the steak in the oven as a whole medallion, marinated in the air fryer, took it out once it was cooked, left it to rest, and then sliced it into pieces. Really, really nice.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of the air fryer. You know, you can do a little bit, you can do a lot, and it just goes in. So for those of you who've got bigger children, obviously you can't live with little children, but bigger children, they can really manage it because they just, if you put the chips in, when you take it out, you literally take the basket and you tip them onto the plate. So there's no chance of them burning themselves and really stick their hand inside it or something. And it's very versatile. You can leave the chops, you can leave the chips, you can leave the piece of steak, whatever you're going to do, the piece, and they can literally do it themselves. So it's really, really the best and the safest product you can fry, and there's no doubt. So here we go. You've got your chocolate all chopped up. You've got your pecan nuts there. I can see them. It looks delicious.
I do. I'm just going to put this into the microwave for a minute.
Okay, so this is a large capacity. Oh, there's a bit of background noise there. This is a large capacity one. It's the Rolls Royce of all air fryers. And we're going to get Michael to come back shortly and just talk to us about the history of it. And I love the fact that they put the rose gold onto it, because after all, we all love rose gold, and how much nicer. But Zana, before we carry on, just tell us what you're doing now. Are you melting the chocolate?
Okay, so I put the chocolate into the micro, and I'm just waiting for that to melt. You know, when you're melting chocolate and butter, you've got to be extremely careful. You've got to put it in for a few seconds, take it out, mix it. You don't want the chocolate to burn, so you've got to be very, very careful with that.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, the beauty of chocolate. I mean, beforehand, we used to have to put in a double boiler to melt it. So now with the microwave, you can really melt it quickly and easily in the microwave.
Easier. Yes. Okay, so it's not ready yet. I'm going to put it back in.
And while you're putting it in, would you tell us what the other ingredients are? You see that beautiful.
So yeah, okay, so I've measured out my other ingredients. We are going to be using flour, sugar. You can actually use brown sugar if you'd like. Yeah, you can use brown sugar or white sugar, flour, and pecan nuts. And then I've got eggs. So literally, your ingredients are minimal. Butter and chocolate, you're going to add in your eggs, flour, sugar, and pecan, and then pop it straight into the air fryer. Really quick and easy. We're always looking, especially for moms, working people, we're looking for something quick and easy to put onto the table. This is exactly it. I've got beautiful berries here, which we're going to decorate it with. I've got raspberries, blueberries, as well as strawberries. And I've also got some vanilla essence, which we're going to add in once we add in our egg. Let me check my chocolate again.
So Michael, while she's checking the chocolate and mixing the brownies, tell us about the other fabulous Philips product. I know that one of our top sellers was that mop that washes the floor and vacuums at the same time. What? Tell us about that one.
Absolutely. It's Margaret, you know, we're always striving to bring out these really innovative products, and the ease of use is the most important thing. Our vacuum cleaner and our range of vacuum cleaners is exactly that. And what we've looked at is we've looked at the concept of stick-based technology to not only make it easier for us to, of course, vacuum the floors, but also in terms of charging, we don't have cords, which in itself makes life a hell of a lot easier. From our range of product, and this is what excites me more than anything else, is that we can really own the kitchen with you. So from our coffee machines under the brand of Philips and Seiko, which is our premium brand coffee machines, of course, to our full range of domestic appliances, kitchen appliances in particular, such as food processors, we really are focusing towards eating and living better and living healthier. The air fryer is only one of those. Juices, the importance of drinking juices in our lives, vegetable juices, which gives us that 5 a day. And this is really what we strive to in Philips, is to ensure that we're making lives easier, making lives better for our consumer. The air fryer was specifically designed to reduce the need to oil. Margaret, you pointed out a very important thing in terms of safety, of course, safety of kids. But the more important thing is what we eat is who we eat. And the key thing is that if we're not healthy and we don't stay healthy and we don't eat healthy, then we're going to potentially see problems in the future. So air fryer is a classic example of that, and that technology that we drive, of course. Our garment care products, because we spend huge amounts of money in our lives on the clothes that we put on our back, but we go and buy the cheapest iron. Why? It burns fabric, it makes fabric shiny. Really ensure that you're investing in the right technology to look after your clothes, to ensure that your clothes are looked after for many years to come, rather than cutting those corners and buying the cheapest product because the mindset is, hey, it's going to be broken fairly soon or one day, so let's invest in the cheapest. Absolutely not. We spent thousands of rand on our clothes, and it's important that we look after it. So the Philips range of product allows us to really make life better for you and your home.
Fabulous. Thank you, Michael. Now we're back to Zainab. I see you've melted that chocolate and you've got your whisk ready. You're going to whisk everything in. So the next thing you're going to whisk in the eggs. Just
the next thing I'm adding in is my 2 eggs. And I've got a whisk right here. And I'm going to give that a stir.
And just telling the ladies, you've got to be quick because the chocolate has to cool a little bit. That's why I let Michael carry on talking, because I know if the chocolate is really hot, start to cook. You don't want that. So let the chocolate cool. Whisk the eggs in and whisk them really fast. Get that air going in there and mix them all in. And then you're going to...
I'm going to add in a dash of vanilla essence and give that another whisk. So if you can see, this mixture is nice and thick. The egg is incorporated really well, and most of our work's done. All we need to do is add in our flour, sugar, and the nuts. So let's start off with the flour, with the sugar first. Remember, I said you can use brown sugar or white sugar. Give that a nice stir.
And I see you just using an ordinary cake pan. I know that I sort of cheat a bit when I use the air fryer. I use those throwaway aluminium pans because I make my brownies in the square pan, and then you can turn them out, cut them up, and then you throw that away afterwards. But that's a Jamie Oliver beautiful round.
This is a beautiful pan, actually. Yes, it is a Jamie Oliver. It's stunning. I'm going to spray and cook it before we put it in. And I would want you to cut it into little slices. So when you're serving it, it looks beautiful as well. So I'm adding in my flour. And also whisking that in. I like when you're making items, stuff that's easy to put together. And it just helps when everything isn't just in one bowl, So it's less dishes, it's just less cleanup, just makes baking a lot easier, even cooking for that matter.
Yeah, I must be honest that I do all of mine in my beautiful Smeg mixer, which is just divine. It's the same color as my kitchen. I've got the mint green, and it just comes across beautifully in there. And if you've got a food processor, you can actually put everything into your food processor. So I know Philips do a fabulous food processor as well. Chuck everything in. I just put the melted chocolate in, put everything else in, and off you go. It's just quick and easy. You're more patient.
I've got my nuts, pecan nuts chopped up. I'm going to add that next. And voila, it is ready.
There you go. And just to spray and cook so that it comes out easily. And I know mine take about 10 minutes to cook, so it's really, really quick. So if somebody says they're coming for tea and you don't have anything to offer them, you can literally whip this up in just over 10 minutes from start to finish. You can serve them warm from the air fryer. It's absolutely divine with ice cream. You can so they're very, very versatile.
Okay, there you are. And just pop it in.
Lovely.
Look how chocolatey. It looks amazing.
Oh, we're all just so sad we're not going to be able to eat it when you finish.
I'll have a slice for you.
when we were in the shop, we could all just come up and have a piece. Now we just have to just imagine what it's going to taste like. But ladies, if you're at home, invest in the air fryer. If you've got to sell it to your husband, sell him the idea. It's going to save you so much in electricity. It's going to be the best investment you're ever going to make, which is okay.
That is beautiful. I'm going to pop it straight into the air fryer.
Nice to have 3 there. Hey, we're just at the
I
ready.
know.
And you know, the beauty of the air fryer is you don't have to preheat it like you do an oven. So I have to be perfectly honest that I do preheat mine a little bit. It makes things go quicker. But when I come in the kitchen, I switch it on, let it go for a bit, and then I put the stuff in, and it does very, very quickly. How long are you putting that one in for? About 10 minutes.
I'm putting in 15.
Uh-huh.
And it's on. So I must tell you, when I tested it out yesterday, I didn't preheat it at all. I just put it in temperature on and it baked. So maybe it's just preference, but for me it worked really, really well. The other thing I realized with compared to the old one is that this one doesn't make that much of a noise. Actually, very silent, very quiet, which I like about it. That was a huge plus actually. And yeah, very easy to clean as well.
Okay, let me just ask you, just had Eid. Now, what are your traditional dishes that you cook in? And can you cook any of your traditional dishes for Eid in the air fryer?
Well, Eid, we generally have a roast chicken for dinner or some kind of chicken dish for dinner. So this would be perfect for that. We do a nice roast vegetables, brilliant in the air fryer as well. Obviously, you can't do too many of you can't make like a rice dish in the air fryer. That's not really going to work. But for a dinner, Eid dinner, brilliant.
Fantastic. And I know that I use it to roast. I roast vegetables a lot because I did like a butternut sauce with my pasta last night. I roast the butternut in there just because it's a better flavor than just steaming the butternuts as well.
Yeah. No, really, really nice. You know, with this chicken, I like that I added in the baby tomatoes and the potatoes inside because it gets all the flavor. It's really, really nice. And all the sauce that comes out at the bottom, I take that and I pour it over like the sauce over your chicken. Because you know, generally with the roast chicken, you want to serve a bit of gravy on the side or a bit of like a sauce. This has all the sauce comes out as it's cooking, and that becomes your sauce. So really, really nice. Also, the nice thing about it had a nice almost like a roasted top. You know, like when you char grilling something, when you fry something, it has that lovely look on the top. I absolutely love that. Yeah, really, really good.
That's fantastic. Now, I just want to go back to Michael while everything's cooking and say, Michael, I know the best thing I bought over lockdown when my domestic worker went home and she's now still working from home. I bought that Philips oven. You can't burn anything with it. It's just fabulous. So tell us about the research and development behind that, because you can go literally from jeans to a soft shirt and it doesn't burn and it irons it.
Absolutely, and again, going back, Margaret, to the journey of we go and spend a huge amount of money on the clothes that we wear, and of course we wash them and iron them. And how many of us on this call have had that absolute heartache of our best dress or best shirt spoilt because it has a burn mark in it? We at Philips, of course, are the #1 makers of garment care products in the world. Why? Because we're driven by innovation. So we need to take the headache out of anything that we do. And one of the biggest things from a garment care perspective is what we call our no burn iron. So we have created a product that is guaranteed not to burn any of your garments. Now, how do we do that? It's the technology that sits in the sole plate of our irons, which ensures that even if you had to leave it on a garment and walk away, so you had to go and answer the phone or answer the door and by mistake or in error leave it actually on your clothes, it will not burn. It automatically turns itself off and reduces the temperature of the product to ensure again that it doesn't leave a burn mark on your clothes themselves. It's something you brought up earlier on, Margaret, which is really interesting, and that's pasta. Hirsch have an incredible range of our pasta makers. And for those of us that are gluten intolerant, or for those of us that really want to look at a healthy alternative to, of course, pasta flour, we have an automatic pasta making machine, which Hirsch stock. And I would really encourage every one of you that love pasta but don't want the crime of eating pasta to go and look at our range of pasta makers in Hirsch, because they really do make fresh pasta every day, and it's absolutely delicious, and I don't think you'll ever turn back.
We had Pepe the pasta man in the other day. He's got us all crazy about pastas. You can make your own pasta at home. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Zainab, we're going to chat until you're ready. Are you ready to tell us when you're ready to turn it or take something off or something? What do you want to do?
I'm actually not. I've had a quick peek at the chicken. And I was telling you, it gets that lovely little crust. It's already started to get that crust on it. So it's looking beautiful. It's still going to need a little bit of time. You guys can continue to chat. And I'll just be here. I'm watching my chicken.
Okay, you can just shout when you're ready and we'll just carry on chatting. Yes. Now, one of the best products is the garment steamer, because, a lot of my clothes, sometimes I don't have an ironing board, especially when I was traveling a lot. That garment steamer is the answer. You literally just hang the clothes on the hanger, take it to the steamer and steam. And they come out beautifully. They look at the beautiful, especially some with a fancy collar, lots of buttons, things like that. What do you say about that garment steamer?
Again, Margaret, it's that ease of use and ensuring that we are really meeting the needs of the consumer. It's not only the fact of maybe if you don't have an ironing board, but it's those very, very delicate fabrics that really can't tolerate a heat from something like a conventional iron. A garment steamer is one that we have developed. It's from putting it into your suitcase, as you've already said, and traveling abroad and you actually need it, to it being at home. We have a range of garment steamers that ensures that you could, of course, hang a garment and then utilize the steam of the garment steamer to take the creases out of any fabric. Whether you're using the most delicate of fabrics all the way through to denim-based fabrics, our garment steamers work incredibly well. And it really takes the ease or the headache of, I have a silk dress or a silk blouse. How do I deal with this situation? Garment steamers really work incredibly well. From a Philips perspective, it's vital that we drive innovation, but at the same time, it's vital that we also very focused on health. And within the chats of the participants, people are talking about the Sonicare toothbrush as well, which again, Hirsch has a full range of our Sonicare toothbrushes. A statistic or research that has come out of the US shows that one of the greatest contributors to cardiac health is oral health. And it's not something that a lot of people don't know. And in order to keep your heart healthy, of course, eating properly is one of the biggest things. But one of the biggest contributors is oral hygiene, which a lot of us don't pay a huge amount of attention to. Our Sonicare range of electric toothbrushes work in a way that ensures the optimal oral hygiene. And visit your nearest Hirsch store, because the full range of those toothbrushes are there to ensure that you're looking after your heart and ensuring optimal health.
Fantastic. Thank you, Michael. Zainab, I see you busy there. I just want to come back to you and tell me, as a chef now during lockdown, how do you manage to keep yourself going? Because in the beginning, you can't go to a restaurant, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. How do you keep yourself busy and keep your business going?
Okay, so we have had basically, we are in essence a catering company, and because of lockdown, because of COVID, our business has actually taken a different turn. We used to basically mainly do events, and because of this, obviously there's no weddings, there's no events, no July, there was none of our huge events. So we adapted our business, and we now currently do a daily menu. So every day we do a salad, a starter, 2 main courses, and 2 desserts. And we send a message out to our database. We have a beautiful clientele that really support us, and we've actually tried to innovate in that way. It has been good. We're trying to do healthy items as well because we realize that people are at home and we can't be eating unhealthy all the time like we were doing in the first few weeks. So we have been, we basically try to do interesting things every day. You know, I've actually really enjoyed it because I tried to test out new recipes. Our clients have said, look, why did you try this? Why did you try that? Especially with winter soups have been doing really, really well. We've tested out a really lovely tomato soup. We've done potato with leek, corn soup, different soups every day to make sure that people are eating wholesome and healthy food. That's really been going so well. We also have been really busy with, well, thankfully we had Mother's Day, we had Father's Day. These are important days that we obviously all like to celebrate. So we try to do very pretty little packages for the moms and the dads. That went really well as well. But I think this time has actually been really difficult for everyone in hospitality for that matter. And it's how you innovate and how you change the way you look at your business. And I think that's what really matters.
So can people order from you? Will you cook in their houses? Do you send to the house? How do you work?
No, so what we do is we basically, if you don't follow us on, basically you need to follow us on Instagram, post our menus every day. And we are busy with our website, which all our menus will be updated on that. You will be able to order online. For now, it's on a WhatsApp basis. You WhatsApp your order through, it gets captured, and you come and collect it from our store. So we are based in Musgrave. Our collections are between 1 and 5. Beautiful items every day. So guys, please pop in and come and say hello to us because we are there every day. We'd love to meet you guys. We'd love to one day cater for you as well. Things are so different now, and we are obviously following all the procedures of sanitizing and making sure that temperatures are tested and all of that. But we are still able to produce beautiful gourmet food every day. You know, the quality of our food is so important. Using quality ingredients, good machinery, all of that makes such a big difference, you know. But yeah, we've actually been having a lot of fun. I've actually really been enjoying it. To be honest, I love the first part of lockdown. I got to cook every day, different things in my own time. I wasn't rushing to work early in the morning. So I actually really enjoyed it. Obviously, it was stressful because you weren't working and you weren't earning, and so there was stresses of it. But to be honest, I really enjoyed it. How about you? Did you enjoy the first bit of lockdown?
Well, we're really busy. I'm in lockdown in my farm in the Midlands, so I've got all that on the go. But luckily, I've been cooking and I'm not getting back into the whole of it. Well, we're going to pull the school up here. It's wonderful. And I'm online most of the time. For me, it's a very different life because, you know, I was on airplane 3 times a week.
Oh my gosh.
But there, as you say, you adapt and you just make the most of it. I've had the best time ever. I'm still at activities all the time. Like now, I'm still looking at food and looking at the appliances. And it's good. Some experiences Michael now until you really take it. I'm going to peek and see what it looks like. See if
Margaret, I can't hear you very clearly.
I'm muted. Okay, they muted me. So can you hear me better now?
Yes, much better.
Okay, so yes, there we go. So yeah, I just want you to have a quick sneak peek into the fryer, see how that chicken is doing.
Oh my God, you're absolutely going to love this. I don't know, can you see this?
No, we can't. I think we'd have to put that other camera down. Otherwise, oh, now we can. Wow, that looks amazing.
It is. The tomatoes have just cracked open a little. They're nice and juicy. The potatoes are nice and roasted. It looks absolutely delicious. I think it needs a few more minutes, but it's looking beautiful. And let's have a look at our brownies.
Okay, let's look at the brownies.
Oh,
wow.
I just have to touch it just to see. Okay, so it also needs a few more minutes, but it's got that lovely crack on the top. and the sides have loosened, so it's nearly done. I think it needs like maybe another 3 more minutes. I'm just going to.
Okay. And what's that you've been chopping up on the chopping board there?
Okay, so what I've got is I've got some pita bread, which I'm going to warm in the air fryer as well. And I like to serve the roast chicken with some pita. You can also serve it with garlic bread if you'd like. I particularly like pita bread. So I'm just going to serve it with some of that. Yeah, and then I've got strawberries here that we're going to garnish our brownies with, but they're looking absolutely beautiful. And we've actually created 2 lovely meals in less than half an hour. You can't actually count the cooking time because it's like chatting with your friends and whatever while that's happening. But yeah, really, really nice. But I have to tell you, so even besides the fact that it's so much smarter than the other one, it looks absolutely beautiful. I love the accents of the gold. Even when you put it next to the other one, this one just looks stunning. The little rose gold accents just make it pop. Honestly, it just, when I put it next to my other one, this one looks so much more amazing. It kind of like puts into my kitchen a little bit nicer than the other one. I'm just saying, Margaret.
Okay, that's so beautiful. But that's so beautiful, and I'm just so thrilled the way that chicken's turned out. It's
I know.
I think that marinade just makes it happen, hey? So I'm so interested in all the people that are helping you there because they're all going to be having some of that lovely roast chicken with your pita bread done in the air fryer and those lovely brownies. And I know how tasty those brownies are. They're absolutely divine. The crust is just done and they're really chewy inside. So yeah,
You know,
we're very envious.
The important thing with brownies is to make sure that you're using good quality chocolate because the cocoa content in that, the cocoa butter content in that makes a huge difference. So just very important to use good quality chocolate always when you're making brownies. I think that's the trick there. Yeah, I'm excited to share this with all of you. So I'm just going to put my pita bread all around.
And going forward, you're so good that you've come through COVID, you've survived and you've thrived through COVID. How do you see yourselves going on in, for the end of this year and for the beginning of next year?
Well, actually, so our main line was catering, and obviously that's not happening or happening on a very small scale for the rest of the year. So we have got a few little things that are coming up in the pipeline at the moment where we're doing. I actually don't want to say too much, but there are a little few things that are coming out where we're doing kits. Our new website will be coming out, so you can order online. Lots of little things that we have been working on, which I'm really excited about. I think things happen for a reason, and it's how we adapt, like you said earlier. And I'm excited. There's lots to look forward to. Sometimes change is not a bad thing, actually. I think it's a good thing. It's how you embrace it and how you move forward. And I'm very excited for the next chapter of this year.
And we heard the beeping going there. Is it ready yet?
Yes, so that's the brownie. Let's have a look at that quickly. I'm just going to take my knife and just check. Okay, so that needs...
comes out clean, it's done.
Yes, it needs another 5. Okay, but the chicken is... Okay. This chicken is ready. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put that off. Can you guys see this now?
Yes, it's magnificent. It looks amazing.
Okay, so let's get this baby out of here and onto our plate.
But it really did. It crisped up so beautifully, right? And all those veggies around there. I know that I do the chicken. I'd put all the veggies around it. It just looks so fabulous.
Okay.
The juice go down. Wow.
That's our chicken.
Around for The potatoes cooked that were inside there. And that was
Yes,
what,
I'm actually just
3 minutes, I think it was, hey?
yes. Potatoes are beautifully cooked. I think it's important to use the baby potatoes rather than the bigger ones because obviously they cook faster.
And the beauty of it, you just take that and wash it. It's very quick and easy.
Okay. I'm going to just put some garnish on here.
Wow, that looks amazing. It really does. So quick, so easy, and really spectacular. Is that you can serve that even if you think you're a star chef and you air fried it all for you.
Absolutely. Potatoes are roasted perfectly. The tomatoes are nice and soft. And our chicken is beautifully cooked. So that's our roast chicken.
Wow, well done.
And we need a few more minutes on our brownies.
Okay, I'm going to hand over to Michael quickly. So Michael, tell us, going forward from Philips, how's Philips fared through COVID and how do you see it going in the future and how do you see the end of this year finishing up business-wise?
Margaret, we sit here very fortunate and very grateful of the situation that we sit in. Of course, Philips is not just a consumer brand, but one of the biggest parts of our business, of course, is the medical side. So from an MRI machine to ultrasound and one thing and another. One of our biggest things, of course, globally is ventilators. And with the world needing ventilators, we really have worked very hard to increase the capacity from a global scale in terms of manufacturing of ventilators. From our consumer side, again, we are very grateful. You know, with the increased amount of time that people have spent at home, they really are now understanding cooking, cleaning, and one thing and another. So you spoke about our Speed Pro Max Aqua vacuum cleaner. It's gone up exponentially because people have, of course, been cleaning their own homes, so they need the ease of use. When it comes to ironing, when it comes to cooking, I mean, as you know, quite rightly, our air fryers have gone absolutely crazy. To help and assist everybody in the journey of air fryers and really taking on this opportunity of air fryers, we've launched an app called NutriU, which I would really encourage all of you to download. It is an opportunity for you to learn new recipes when it comes to your air fryer, but also for you to contribute to that. And we're really working with this community and this understanding of community where we're encouraging people to post the really exciting recipes that you've been able to create in your air fryer. Going forward into Philips and what is the future of Philips? Again, innovation is really the energy that drives the organization, not only from our medical side, but also from our consumer side. We are looking at the ways and means that we are going to assist in all of us as consumers, making our lives better and easier. And watch the space because there's some really exciting innovations that are coming out within the garment care and of course within the kitchen appliance space, whilst continuing our journey on coffee and growing coffee. Because of course with lockdown and with not being able to go to our favorite coffee shops, we've had to resort to making our own. And of course Hirsch has an incredible range of our coffee machines.
So yes, we have. So we've got amazing coffee machines. We've got these beautiful air fryers, the small, medium, large, extra large, and this new one, the XXL. We haven't even spoken about what Philips is famous for, which is the shavers, but we have spoken about the oral care. I know that I went out with one of our famous politicians and I showed her how the new toothbrushes take the plaque off your teeth using vibration. She was amazed. I actually also sold her two air fryers and two garment steamers as well. And we've got amazing products. I think the pasta maker you hit on, for anybody who's gluten intolerant, that pasta maker is a must. So yeah, lots and lots of exciting things. And Zainab, I'm going to let you finish just before you take the brownies out. And tell us from your side, what do you really love cooking? What's your favorite thing to cook?
I love seafood. It's actually one of my favorite things to put together. Every week on our menu, I must always include some kind of fish on our menu. Firstly, I think it's really good for you as well. So I'm always trying to do either grilled fish or battered fish, or my new favorite item is a prawn linguine, which is absolutely delicious. So yeah, I absolutely love seafood, even grilled prawns with savory rice. Yeah, some of my favorites. My sister actually is the baking fundi. I enjoy the cooking aspect, which is why we make such a lovely combination. So she handles the baking aspects. I obviously like to stick my fingers in everywhere, but she is the baking master. Yeah. So let's get back to this.
Get that out the oven. Is it cooked?
Yes. Okay. Now.
Oh my goodness, look at those chocolate brownies. It looks astounding. So wonderful stuff. And there, how nice is that? You don't have to clean an oven or anything afterwards. You just take it out and there you are, and your air fryer is done again.
They are. Okay, so that's our brownie. Perfect. It's got a nice little crust on the top. So generally brownies do need to cool for a bit before you would cut it. I'm just going to make sure that the edges are loose. They are, because we've sprayed and cooked our beautiful Jamie Oliver pan. Okay, so I'm just thinking it's a little bit hot. Yeah. Shall I just turn it over right now or give it a few minutes?
Let's just give you, we've got, we literally got 2 minutes left. So I think you're going to need to turn it out mighty quick. We just want to see that out of there. Okay.
Well done.
1, 2, 3, go.
All right, let me do this. Let me just turn it over.
I see this now. Where is it? There.
There you go.
No, to pop out. Yes, I just realized that now. Okay, beautiful.
Brownies.
Oh, Jamie Oliver, everything.
I was a bit stressed there. I thought it was going to break, but it didn't. Beautiful. Okay, so what we're going to do now is cut them into slices. Perfect. Yeah.
Wow, we're so excited. We'd love to be having a taste of those brownies. They look divine, absolutely divine.
And so you're basically going to cut it into 8 slices, and we're going to top it with loads of berries. Actually, want to just give this a little. So I've got raspberries, blueberries, and we've got some strawberries. You know, when you have a brownie, it's so sweet that you need that bit of fruit just to break up the sweetness. And then the ice cream obviously just adds that bit of extra creaminess to this.
And there we go, dead on time. You were spot on time-wise. Thank you so much to Michael McKechnie from Philips for the air fryer. Remember, if you want to buy it today, it's on special. If you want to buy online, you'll just have to inbox me. I'll have to change it for you today. So anybody watching can get it for $5,799. Our normal price online is $7,099. So it's a fantastic, fantastic buy. You will see our opposition selling it for about $7,499. That's a going price around town. So this is a wonderful, wonderful buy for yourself. Buy yourself a present. You're saving money. You're not going out and about. So spoil yourself today. Thank you, Zainab, so much for that beautiful roast chicken, for those lovely chocolate brownies. Thank you to Philips for the wonderful air fryers that they've given us to give away today. If you want one and you can't afford one, just go onto my page and like my page, and yeah, you can like my page and give me tell me 3 other people about the air fryer, and you'll stand a chance to win at the end of the month. Thank you so much, Zainab. Thank you to Chilli Chocolate Chefs for being on our show today. We really enjoyed every single minute. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. I had such a lovely morning with you guys, and I hope to chat to you guys soon.